Your forecast. Hey, when you think about sprucing up your outdoor spaces for spring, there's a lot of different ways to do it. You want to wipe surfaces down, you want to keep them clean for the spring and summer, but who better to show us these tips and tricks than our friend Patrick Richardson, who is back. It's so nice to see you, man.
Thanks, you too. It's fun to be back.
Well, we did the Care to Explain podcast,
Right.
and a lot of people listen to it, and they love you.
Oh, well.
They love you.
I love them,
Well,
so it's mutual.
I appreciated you telling us your story.
Yeah.
All right, so people are going to be cleaning off patios, they're going to be cleaning off furniture, they're going to be scrubbing decks down, they're going to do all this stuff. What are your tips for us?
So the biggest tip is, most of the summer, you can just spray down the furniture. Like once you're in the heat of the summer, water hose is good enough. But in the spring, you need to clean it because the winter, the
grime,
the
the dirt,
just the grime,
mold.
Right, but you can do it with dish soap.
Okay.
So this is some warm water. We're going to add a squirt of dish soap,
Okay.
and you can use a regular scrub brush. But how much more fun is this?
That's way fun. Way
So
more fun. Are
you just
gonna-
mix up some soapy water and just stand back.
Oh my.
Yeah, and you
Let's
just scrub
go.
it.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, isn't it great?
That's a Ryobi deal? What is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it's Ryobi, and the battery is one of those rechargeables. So this is the same battery that does my drill.
Yeah.
But
Takes
anyway.
the elbow grease out of it.
Yeah, so it just makes it easy. So
Okay.
just give it a scrub, hose it down, and from this point forward, you can just hose down the furniture. You don't have to use dish soap every single time. The great thing about dish soap, this is safe for the bunnies in your yard. It's also safe for the deck, all those sorts of things. If you
All
start
good.
to get into kind of those more aggressive cleaners, they don't do a better job, but like they may wreck the furniture or, whatever it happens to be.
Be careful. Dish soap is enough to get the stuff off.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's the great thing about it, most of that stuff is oily, and dish soap, it's meant to cut oil.
Right.
So it's
Perfect for that.
sort of the perfect thing, yeah.
Okay, what about, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Power washers, you got to be careful with that stuff because can it blow the dye out of a lot of things or ruin the fabric?
Power washers they're great
Yeah.
when you use them right, but they can etch your deck.
They
if
can
you
blow wood fibers off.
Yeah, they can be a little aggressive. So if you've got furniture that you're comfortable power washing, carry it to the driveway. Don't do it on the deck.
I see. Okay. All right. I remember this tip before, and you talked about the power of citric acid.
Yeah, it's amazing. So citric acid. So remember that your outdoor pillows are meant to get wet. So you can clean them with dish soap. But sometimes they'll get like little moldy spots or those sorts of things. And when that happens, all you have to do is grab a half a lemon, squeeze it on the spot. Oh, well, we got the seeds, but that's okay. Maybe they'll grow. Squeeze it on the spot and stick it in the sun. And the sun plus the citric acid is going to take it out. The one thing I want to tell you here, remember that citric acid is photosensitive. Wash your hands, because if I have it on my hands right now, if I get in the sun, it will actually burn me.
So the sun does like some kind of chemical reaction to the
there's a
citric
chemical
acid?
reaction. Yeah, it's photosensitive. So it's great, and that's why it works. But
But it won't take the dye out or anything?
no, it won't do anything. It's kind of an amazing sort of trick. I would not do this on pillows from the house, but pillows that are meant to go outside are sun safe.
They're tougher. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Do
so-
you have to scrub?
You don't have to.
You just
That's
literally
it.
put it on and
Yeah.
the mold spots or whatever.
Yeah, they just disappear. It's kind of an amazing trick. Just don't,
Patrick
don't
the
leave it on
magician.
your hands because you don't want to,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an ancient trick. I mean,
Yeah.
you use lemon. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, I have something I wanted to show you.
Yeah.
This is like one of my favorite sweatshirts, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
And guess what I did with it?
Oh.
I was eating pizza the other
Yeah.
day, and I dip it in olive oil.
Yep.
And olive oil smeared on this thing. And I go to my neighbor who knows it all. I go, how do you get olive oil out? And they're like, you can't. It's impossible. And I go, I got a guy.
Yeah.
And his name is Patrick.
Yeah.
I remember what you said.
Yep.
I got half vinegar, I got half water.
Yep.
I sprayed it on.
Yep.
Okay? There's a little stain in the bottom because I was doing some woodworking, but don't worry about the middle. Check the middle. Do you see a stain in the middle?
I do not see a stain.
Half vinegar, half water.
Yeah.
Sprayed it hard on there.
Yeah.
Okay? Went with an old toothbrush, so a light bristle brush.
Okay, fair enough.
Soap and water.
Yep.
Hard scrub.
Right.
Rinse in the wash machine.
Yeah. Good
Air
to go.
dry.
Look at that. See, now you're the laundry guy, although don't take my job.
Let me just say how grateful I am for the knowledge because I took joy in cleaning out a stain, which
Yeah.
I didn't know was possible.
Well, don't you take joy from anything when you can do it? I mean, it's like
Yes.
anything. When you can do it, it's like woodworking.
It's
when you
like
have the
woodworking.
tools, it's fun.
Patrick, you're the man.
Thanks.
And thanks. I know I'm the man. You are the man. Can you stick around though? We have questions. People have answered. We have
absolutely.
questions. We got to talk other things outside, cleaning, and I know you got tips. So hang out.
Absolutely.
Cool. We'll be back with Patrick in just a minute.
I need to clean my outdoor cushions, and I love that lemon thing. But you did say, like, so you put the lemon, you put it in the sunshine, but then you do rinse it.
Yeah, you technically don't have to. You'll be happier if you do.
Clear, just some
Just
hose
some water.
water.
Yeah, just the hose.
Okay, I'm gonna totally try that. I
Yeah.
have some stubborn stains. Okay.
Okay, so we got some questions from viewers here, specific. Patrick's got some answers. Annette says, what's the best way to clean a stained cedar deck? She said the stain does a good job protecting the wood, but where water pools up and then dries, it leaves behind this dirt, this grime from the rain, from the snow, from all the sediment that's out in the precipitation. Should she use Dawn, Ivory soap, water, light pressure wash? What do you think?
I would not pressure wash because you can be really careful with pressure wash and people do it, but you can like leave a mark because it gets too aggressive.
It can rip the surface off
yeah,
the wood.
it really can.
You can pulverize it.
Yes, but what's great is dish soap. Dish soap is a great thing to clean your deck. She could just mix up some dish soap in a bucket and maybe just take a scrub brush and just sort of go to it because you don't really need more than that. It's usually just pollen and dirt from the air and those sorts of things. And those come off with dish soap and they're animal safe. I mean, which matters a lot when you're outside because,
Yeah, totally.
I'm not really a big fan of squirrels, but some people are. And you don't want to do anything that,
Yeah, but dogs.
I don't want to hurt them.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Cat. Okay.
Well,
I do want to.
I don't
I do
like
want
'em.
to hurt the
Wow.
I know, they
squirrels.
dig in my
Hurt 'em.
plants. I
Oh
know,
my
I'm-
gosh.
I'm with
Okay,
you.
Annie has a good question. She's wondering, because she's going to clean her windows, and
Yep.
she's wondering about how to get rid of the hard watermarks on her windows.
Okay, I love this because it makes me sound really smart. You mix, no, it's true. You do half rubbing alcohol, half vinegar. So like, I'm gonna say 4 ounces of each, and about 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix it up and use that as your glass cleaner.
No water added.
No water added. The vinegar is gonna cut through the grime.
I've heard that.
The rubbing alcohol is going to cause it to dry fast. That's the reason things streak is there's water and it dries too slow. The rubbing alcohol makes it dry fast. And the cornstarch gives you that little bit of grit you need to scrub the hard watermark off.
4
Wow,
ounces
interesting.
vinegar, 4 ounces rubbing alcohol,
And about 4 tablespoons
4
of
tablespoons cornstarch.
Cornstarch, yeah.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
just
Spray it on.
equal parts. And yeah, just use it as like outdoor window cleaner.
Okay.
Take that, Windex. This one's from Marcia. She says, bird baths, best and safest way to clean them? I usually just scrub them with a brush and a jet wash. But what's your take on bird baths?
It's like today sponsored by dish soap. Dish soap would be my answer because you can rinse it clean. You don't want to use something like an outdoor cleaner because sometimes they don't rinse completely clean, especially a bird bath because I don't know if it's concrete or
it's
porcelain.
stone or- yeah.
If it's something porous, that cleaner can get trapped in there and we certainly don't want to do anything to the birds. So something really safe and really clean like dish soap, you could, if you were even more worried, you could just use vinegar and just scrub it with vinegar and rinse like crazy.
Yeah, or you'll pickle the birds.
Exactly.
Don't do that. Okay, Kathy has a question. Because Patrick is the laundry guy, I'd like to know what he uses to spring clean his washing machine.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, so this is great. There are all these things you can buy, and don't do that. A pound of borax and a gallon of vinegar. And if it in your mind think a pound of borax, a box is 4 pounds. So you're gonna use a fourth of the box.
Fourth of the box.
And then the whole gallon of vinegar. Just dump it in the drum, run it on the longest, hottest cycle. It's amazing. The
Longest,
vinegar
hottest.
will cut through all of the detergent, and the borax, it'll actually break down, but it like scrubs the inside of the drum as it turns. And so
I
it'll
didn't
sort
even
of
know you had to clean your.
Well, it gets
Am I
musty.
terrible? You
it
have
gets
to clean
musty.
it?
You
Yeah.
probably should because your detergent will build up,
Okay.
like your
Yeah.
olive oil will build up, things will build up in there. You should clean it at least once a season.
All right.
And as you say, like detergent sometimes doesn't rinse as well as soap, and you get that sort of residue on like the lid if you have a top loader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So borax
And vinegar. Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
We're talking chemistry.
Well,
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank
We
you so
appreciate
much.
you coming by.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
As always.
All right, learn more about Patrick and his books, Laundry Love and House Love. You can watch videos and gain cleaning tips on his website. We got a link for you at care11.com. Thank you, man.
Really?